Yeah, very much so.
Yes.
No, this is the
Yeah.
plan that happened before.
Right.
You should just ignore
Yeah.
or clap.
We'll spend like the last hour on the customer hold for customer service with. Which was, no, I don't like it. Be great. Thanks, Greg. Relax. I hate this. And then it got cut off. They made me get back to the line. I was like. It's really hard.
Craig, you made it.
I did, and I can't believe it. I cannot believe it.
Good deal.
Thought like we could have came 1 minute late. Hey, well,
That's great.
I was coming from Columbia today.
Yeah, that's correct, yeah, it was terrible.
It was, and my like the GPS kept on giving me like on time, late, early, late. I mean, it was traffic all over the place.
We're recording.
Okay.
All right.
Good afternoon and
Hey, guys.
Hey.
Sorry, I just can't advance.
okay. Welcome to the April 1st, 2024 meeting of the City of Charleston's Design Review Board. My name is Erica Chase, the board's chairperson. Members of the board with us tonight, Aaron Stevens, Ashley Jackrell, and Ben Whitener. Like, so you're doing this for Zoom only, but keep on going. Members of staff are present, David Meeks and Patrick Carlson. We do not have any agenda items that have been deferred, or we do not have any board members that have been recused from any projects. And we have no public comments that have been submitted. You've been here before, so I'm not going to cover the order of the meeting. And since we have no public here, I will skip over that portion as well and get started with your first agenda item. 2324 Ashley River Road, requesting preliminary approval for a new church.
Yeah, we've seen this, but I just have some context slightly, but you can step on up. Thank you. All right, whenever you're ready.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Thank you for having me back. I think that I've addressed everything that the staff and the board suggested that we do. I tried to correct some of the line weights on the drawing to make the elevations look better. We lowered the windows. The windows were a little higher before. And the water table was a little higher, so we just took the whole windows and water table down 8 inches, which gave space over the top of the windows for the bricks as suggested. And frankly, it looked a lot better when I did that. So thank you for the suggestion. Landscaping, I don't think we had to make any suggestions there. We titled the elevations correctly in terms of the north and such. The brick colors, you know, I believe in a hurry and I didn't have brick colors, but I did bring them last time. They are listed on the elevations as old Lexington and old Williamsburg. Like I said, I actually brought those at our last meeting, but that hasn't changed. I did make a decision on which one was on top and which was on bottom. I believe I have old Lexington on the bottom and old Williamsburg on the top. And then I was asked to study the side porches and the steeples. So on the side porches, we did in fact previously had just a couple of little shed roof over each of the side porches with brackets holding the shed roof, which probably wasn't entirely appropriate for this particular building design. So we changed that to a real porch with columns on both sides. And a gable roof with the siding, so it kind of matches. There's 4 gables, one on every side of the building that has the same sort of look to it. And I studied the steeple. I felt like the height of the steeple was just right. It's about the same height as the top as the building at the gable, which is generally the ratio you try to use. And the width was as wide as I could go as far as a prefabricated steeple that had that height to it. As soon as you go just a little, and this steeple's 5 feet 5 inches wide, just 7 more inches to go to a 6-foot steeple shot it up to about a 40-foot steeple height or something. So it was just too big of a steeple. So I kept the steeple that I had because it did feel right to me. Other than that, I believe and we provided a colored rendering, which you had up earlier to depict what the building was going to be. At the end of my presentation, unless you have some questions or comments from me.
Thank you. We'll open it up for board questions.
So the intent is the darker brick will be the water up to the water table?
Correct. And in fact, the water table brick itself, it's hard to see in this one, but I wanted that to be the darker brick from the bottom, unless you suggest something different, but that would be the darker brick. And then and it's barely darker, just a little. And I was going to take the darker brick around all of the brickwork around the windows. If that doesn't sound appropriate, I'm open to going and just doing, one line of color along the bottom and then a whole different color across the top as far as the two color bricks. I apologize, I didn't bring them. They're very similar colored bricks. There's not much difference between the two.
But there's no third color. It looked like the soldier course looks like a third color.
Correct. There is no third color, two colors only. And the soldier course I was intending to do, it's listed on the elevations as the same color as the bottom brick, which is the old Lexington.
Okay.
Any other questions?
But you did study the width of the steeple.
I did. I have to say, I felt like it was appropriate when I was, visually, just looking at it visually, I thought it was appropriate. Thank you.
Ma'am, is there anything you'd like to add during the public comment period?
I like, and I hope that we get to do it.
Okay, thank you. What's your name for the record?
Bruce Jackson.
Thank you so much, Ms. Jackson. Public comment period is closed. David, staff comments, please.
Thank you, Erica. Staff observations. Some of the previous board and staff comments have been addressed since the last meeting, except for the increasing of the width of the steeple. Staff can support the current proposed width of the steeple, as making it any wider would require a taller steeple, with it being pre-manufactured. Staff can also support the changing of the side porches from shed roofs to gable roofs, the columns matching the front. Staff are okay with reviewing the light and photometrics plan at a later date, which he said he was not able to begin at this time. And we're fine with that, but staff they said they might submit the lighting with the final package, but we asked that the only staff comment is that they submit that to staff as soon as possible before they submit for final. But we do recommend preliminary approval with final review by staff.
Thank you, David. Anything you'd like to clarify or respond to?
Do any? Just that they're considering having Dominion actually provide the parking lot lighting. So that would be something that we would work through with them. And then I'll be happy to send it to you as soon as it becomes available.
Okay, we're now in board discussion.
I think one comment, it wasn't a required thing that had to be changed, but I know Andy mentioned previously with this one that he thought it would be smart to simplify the landscape plan a little bit. We didn't make it a requirement, but I definitely agree with that. I've reviewed it again today. I don't know that it changed at all since last time we saw it, but I'm okay with the applicant working through that with staff, but I do think that would be an improvement to the plan overall, just to simplify it a little bit from a plant palette perspective.
And I think the only reason we didn't make that part of the motion last time is because we were conceptual. Again,
Right, and we were gonna handle it.
Okay.
We wanted them to work through it at preliminary, but they haven't made any changes, so.
Okay.
The only comment I had was to study the width, and if you study the width, that's fine with me. I still do. I'm an architect. I think it would look better wider, but I get it pre-manufactured. Get what you have. But that's my only comment.
Okay, is that a motion?
Yeah, Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion for preliminary approval, staff comment number 1, and board comment to simplify the landscape plan, plant palette, and work through the final details with staff. Right.
We have a motion for preliminary approval with staff comment number 1 and board comment number 1, simplify landscape plan plant palette. Is there a second?
1 second.
Any further discussion? Call roll, Ashley?
Yes.
I'm also yes in favor. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, last on the agenda is review of minutes from the March 18th, 2024 meeting. Motion to approve.
It's a Wednesday, right? But at least we made some Wednesday, right?
Is there a motion to approve?
Motion.
Thank you. Is there a second? One second. Any further discussion?
Who was second?
Aaron did. Ashley,
Yes.
I'm also yes in favor. That is a record.
I was here to say, yes.
Technically, we were not, but we made it to 9 minutes.